after the Rath Yatra, I went down to Los Angeles for my initiation ceremony there. And I was always, you know, even right up to the end, I always felt very nervous in Prabhupada's association because I always just felt he could understand my thoughts and see my heart and everything. But whatever. When it came time for me to come up and get my beads, Prabhupada said, I walked up to the Vyasa-san and offered my obeisances, and as I was starting to offer my obeisances, he said, "So, you are brahmachari?" You know? But I was just so nervous, I didn't know what to do, so I just continued offering my obeisances. And so someone was trying to tell me, "Prabhupada's talking to you, Prabhupada's talking to you," but I just kept offering. I wanted to avoid, because he was like God, you know. To me, it was like he's come to save me, and it was a relief of a huge burden. I mean, in the material world, I was in such material anxiety, and Prabhupada had relieved my burden, and he was so beautiful, and so I was very shy. But then afterwards, it kind of struck me that maybe he's given me a blessing that I'm a brahmachari. And by Krishna's grace, I never got married, and you know, here I am, struggling. At one stage, we literally had no manpower because Western devotees, somehow I never got sick in India, whereas everybody else, you know, would go fat and come back skinny. I went skinny and came back fat. But in Bombay, there were very few devotees at Hare Krishna land. There was a lot of work to do, and Tamal Krishna, who was the GBC, was discussing with Prabhupada what to do. And I was just a brahmachari, an insignificant brahmachari. I was, you know, doing a little preaching, going out on life membership. And so for some reason or another, Prabhupada called me into his room when Tamal was there, and you know, asked me, "Sridhar, what should we do? What can we do? These are the problems." He'd ask me. I was flabbergasted. I thought, well, I'll try to work harder, Prabhupada. I didn't know what to say. So it was bewildering. Prabhupada wanted Indians to get involved in every aspect. He didn't just see them as people who could give money, although a lot of the gentlemen that he was dealing with were businessmen, but a lot of sadhus came to him also, a lot of very religious people. And Prabhupada himself was, before he took up the life of a sadhu, he was an aristocratic gentleman, and he moved in that circle. And he was, you know, these were principled people. So there was one man, Mr. Bridgerton Mota, who was a very big industrialist, and he was also the husband of the daughter of the leading Birla, which was the biggest family in India at that time. So this man would regularly come and sit with Prabhupada and listen to him, and he would chant a little bit of japa, and he would give Prabhupada advice on, and Prabhupada would listen very carefully to his advice because he was a good businessman. And throughout the construction of the Bombay temple, of course, we spent a lot of money, and invariably, of course, we made a few mistakes here and there and got cheated. So at the end, when it was time to pay all the final bills and deal with all the contractors, because you've got to, you know, go over the contract, go over the work done, and see actually if there was any cheating involved, etc. To our amazement, Prabhupada turned everything over to Mr. Mota, gave him the final authority on who to pay and how much to pay and how much to cut. And of course, he saved us a lot of money. So I think there were many examples like that. In his writings, Prabhupada talked about the construction of Bombay Temple, and he wrote a letter to Giriraj about Sumati Morarji and told him that just form a committee and give the charge of building the temple to the members. He said, our business is preaching. We should not get entangled in these mundane business affairs. The members they've invested in us, and we're investing our preaching in them, so give them responsibility. So I saw how he freely gave of his time to them, and he would listen to their problems. He would even, that was the wonderful thing, he would even talk about their family problems. He would talk about, petty things. And then, he would encourage them to come more often to the temple. Or, for example, Dr. Patel, at one time Dr. Patel was sick for a few days on the morning walk. So Prabhupada got very concerned. Where's Dr. Patel? Somebody please call him, find out what's happening. So, overall, I was in Bombay for many years. Then I became the president of Calcutta. And there also I had a lot of opportunity to, actually more so in Calcutta, to be trained almost by Prabhupada. And I saw him working with the Indians. And to me, it just gave a whole new perspective to my understanding of how big Prabhupada's plan was in Krishna consciousness. It was, not some type of just cult or something, but he had an idea of a nation, or an internation of Krishna conscious people. Prabhupada was in Los Angeles, and we were doing well, distributing lots of books, so we thought we'd go and see Prabhupada and tell him about it. And all of us, I got this idea that we should memorize a verse in Sanskrit, because not many people were into Sanskrit at that time. I thought we should offer a prayer to him. So we came in to see Srila Prabhupada about lunchtime, and we offered him this prayer, Tvam na sandarsito dushtaram nistitir satam kalang satvarahang harang pungsang karnadara ibarnabam, that we think that your goodness is met by us by the will of providence, just to accept you as the captain of the ship. So, again, it was funny, I don't know. Krishna's right, I curse myself now, but Prabhupada asked us to take lunch with him. And I thought, no, we want to get back out and distribute more books, Prabhupada. So we missed another opportunity. When I was the president of Calcutta, again, Prabhupada had his office, and he would meet his disciples there, and I was the president. Theoretically, I should be, sitting right at his feet and be the center of everything, and sharing and hearing all the nectar and everything, but I was always very shy. And I thought, let me go out and make more members. Prabhupada's here, I should make an extra effort to. But what I did get a chance to see by being kind of in the background or on the outside was that Prabhupada also had all his senior men coming there, and he had his Mayapur Vrindavan fund, money that he would give out. And it was very, very interesting to watch how the leaders, such as, Jayapataka Maharaj and Bhavananda and Tamal Krishna Goswami and Giriraj Swami and Guru Das from Vrindavan, and they would all come, and Prabhupada, he didn't pick a project that he wanted to favor as much as he would look to see how much the devotee was enthusiastic about his project and how much he was prepared to organize it and manage it well. And on that basis, he would allot funds. So it really depended a lot upon the enthusiasm in the individual for a particular project. And I think Prabhupada, again, I think Tom Hopkins in the World of Hare Krishna video, he noted how Prabhupada would tell someone, go out and start a magazine, and the devotee never knew anything about a magazine, and he would say, Krishna will help you. I kind of saw that also, that he really just would look for enthusiasm, look for a spirit of depending on Krishna, and he would reciprocate and respond to that. Jai Anilo Premadana Karuna Prachu